I'm Mitchell Tomashow. I'm the president of Unity College. We're trying to train a new generation of sustainability leadership. One of the things that's very interesting about Maine higher education is that we have many colleges and universities in the state that are all behind this orientation. I'm wondering what you would do to contribute to getting Mainers back to work, using sustainable solutions as a guide, green economics as an approach, and making sure that we train a workforce that's vital for 21st century needs, taking care of the concerns of both the economy and the environment.
You know, the challenge in Maine in higher education is making sure that we use our resources appropriately. We have 7 community colleges, we have 7 universities, we have a lot of wonderful private colleges. Our public institutions are in 2 separate organizations. We need to merge them, we need to make sure we use our resources more effectively, and we need to take programs like the ones that like Mitch is leading at Unity College, where I participated in a candidates forum a few months ago. We need to take programs like that and make sure that they get extended throughout our entire state college and university system. Maine's green advantage is one of our great competitive advantages.
Hi, my name is Joe Chandler, and I'm president of Maine Biotechnology Services here in Portland, Maine. And I have a question for the candidates. That is, what are your plans to help expand the technology sector in the state of Maine, such as the biotechnology or wind power or biomass production? And what would you do to see that the educational programs in the state of Maine will meet the employment demands in the future?
We need to make sure that we're teaching our young people in Maine, both in 2-year and 4-year programs and in other programs, skills that match the education economy. We're not doing that everywhere we need to do it, and we need to make sure that we do. We've lost a lot of vocational skills training in our skilled workforce, which all of employers in Maine need. Our skilled workforce, the average age is now in its late 40s and early 50s. We've got to change that. We've got to get younger to make our workforce more attractive. Second thing we have to do for all industry in the state of Maine is get the cost structure down. We've got to cut the cost of living and doing business in the state of Maine. That means health care, that means electricity, that means the cost of government services. We've got to get those costs down. And finally, we have to address capital investment. We are driving capital, investable capital, out of the state of Maine, and we're not inviting it in, and we've got to change that.
I'm Kim Swan with the Swan Agency, Sotheby's International Realty. The real estate market in Maine, as everywhere, is struggling to come back, and I'm very concerned about talk about increasing the transfer tax on buyers and sellers of real estate who I feel would be penalized by coming back into the market. I would like to know your position on raising that transfer tax.
I have no intention of raising the transfer tax. First of all, if I get elected governor, I'm going to have to sell my own house, and I don't have to pay a higher transfer tax. I'm joking. The last thing in the world the next governor is going to be able to do is raise taxes, almost any kind of tax. And the reason is that Maine people are not ready to have a conversation about raising taxes of any sort until they have seen the government cut spending. We've got to reduce spending. We've got to squeeze the living bejesus out of spending in the state. And until we do, Maine people are not going to have the confidence in state government that they need to have to even consider any kind of reform in Maine's tax structure. And we know that reforming Maine's tax structure is one of the most important tasks that the next administration is going to have to accomplish.
How you doing? My name is Dennis Kearney. I'm the plant manager with FMC Biopolymer in Rockland, Maine. FMC Corporation is a major chemical corporation. We're very diverse, and I work in the specialty chemicals group. Here in Rockland, we are a carrageenan manufacturer, so we take seaweed and we extract carrageenan, and it's really a food ingredient. My question for you is, we work hard every day here in Maine to control our costs. Everything that we can control, we do. But the one thing that we cannot control is regulation. So specifically, what will you do as governor to help control our costs?
You know, I've visited with...
Good question.
Let me just say, I've visited the FMC plant in Rockland. I met Dennis. I've walked around that plant. They do a great job. They're great people.